guys, and Guitar Man here. I'm just going to be showing you guys or talking about some planned features. You guys will not be able to see it though because I'm recording with Fraps, so I cannot record my browser, sadly. The program I was using to record my browser it was great, but had to get rid of it. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, I'm not going to be talking about the green because that has already been added. If you guys check the website, you already know what the color is. Green has been added. Blue is the next update, which is coming soon, and yellow has been partially implemented. First, I'm going to talk about what they partially put in there, which is the yellow. You guys can check this on the website. I'll put a link in the description as soon as possible, if I don't forget. So, yeah, alright. So, the first thing that is yellow, it's in flight operations. EVA, it's moving around outside of the craft, and as you guys know, that's already in it. That's why it says partially implemented. Some things are in the next update, and it says partially implemented because they're just about done with it. Runway to land or launch from, we have that, but they're kind of upgrading it, like a special runway just for coming in, like, going to the moon or Minimus or one of the new planets, which we'll be talking about later, and coming back and landing, it's an official landing site on your way back to Kerbal, whatever it's called. That's in Space Center. You guys can check that out. It's runway to land or launch from. Alright. Now, spacecraft and construction. Tweakables, context menu when right-clicking on a part. So, I don't know what they would mean by that. The context menu. I guess that would have to be information or things about it. But it's tweakable, so I would assume that has something to do with its performance when you're using it. So, let's hope that that's what it means. I'll look into that later. Maybe some annotation will pop up talking about me being stupid. What I probably just said made no sense. Next thing on the list, physics and dynamics. They're adding drag, which, thank God. I mean, the nose cones, they were just somewhat pointless. People added them just for the looks. Now that they're actually, putting it in, and that's yellow. So, alright. Now, last thing is modding, a more complete SDK and documentation. You could help by adding to the wiki. So, that's just mods and stuff. That's also in yellow. That's under the modding section on the wiki for planned features. You guys should definitely check that out, so you don't have to just watch a video. You can look at your own things. But I'm just telling you guys about it, so some people, if they don't know about it, they'll see this and they like to watch videos sometimes about it. Next thing we'll be talking about is the blue text, which is the next update, which is pretty soon. So, internal and camera views with a full virtual cockpit, which is basically just looking around inside. So, that's pretty cool. I was hoping they'd have like a nice camera feature like that. That's gonna be great for cinemas with, Kerbal Space Program, which I know there are a couple of YouTubers that I watch every now and then that they have, pretty nice stuff, getting satellites up. They go make this little movie. It's very nice. They do great work. One of them is Chicken Keeper. He's pretty cool. Definitely check out his stuff. You guys will find him. Next thing is pre-built ships for tutorials or as examples. I'm sure people are looking forward to that. And I am too, to see, because, there are things that we may not know about, Kerbal Space Program that are pretty obvious, and, little things in the tutorial could really help you getting to, say, doing an orbit, or, I don't know, going to the new planets. Anyway, the next thing is training scenarios. Phone is ringing. It's very annoying. Anyway, pre-built ships for tutorials or as, I'll just wait. Hold on, let me mute my mic. Okay, I am back. Pre-built ships for tutorials or examples. Told you about that. That's going to really help. Training scenarios as in-depth tutorials. That will help quite a bit. Dogs running around. Training scenarios as in-depth tutorials. Now, I don't know what they'd... God. Dogs. Training scenarios. So, they'll have maybe a wind tunnel, which would make sense. That's a good scenario. Lots of drag. What are you going to do when you're going push all over the place? You're going to be able to stabilize your ship, maybe lower the thrust, and then do some maneuvering around the problem. That was all in flight operations. Next thing is spacecraft construction. Center of mass, thrust, lift, and drag, which was basically the same thing as physics and dynamics yellow text, which was drag, but it's a little bit more into it, But I'm sure the physics and dynamics will be a little into it too, because they're both a little different. So that's something else we could be looking forward to in the next update. Yeah. Next thing, scenery and graphics. 4 planets and 6 moons, which they're adding in. There are pictures, I don't know, gotta go look at them later. Maybe I'll make, an update video for the actual update. That video would be nice. Can't wait, I'm looking forward to that. The 4 planets and 6 moons. That's awesome. That's gonna add so many more challenges, so many more videos, and with more videos comes more people interested in that, and then they'll get a lot more people, and this is gonna rise up. It will rise up. And that's about it for the blue text. Now we're going to talk about the ones without any coloring to it, which, you may see, which will be soon partially implemented or planned for the next update. So, abort sequence for emergencies, that's going to help. And these are the ones I'm talking about are in flight operations. IVA. Moving around and interacting inside of the craft. That I am looking forward to. So, I can't wait. Docking. That's going to be like, I don't know, say a space station. You're going to be able to go up there if it needs repairing, take photos, do things, explore the next planets, and be able to refuel. That's amazing. Can't wait for that. Crew tasks. Have the crew take charge of controlling the ship, provided they can handle it. That is great if you need to go do something, say making a video, and or getting up to do something. Say, oh, I want to grab a drink. I'm only in space. I do not think when you're in the atmosphere you could have them handle it unless, they're just getting in orbit or just going straight up and getting yourself out of the atmosphere. That I'm sure they could do, hopefully. Alright, next thing is Space Center. Astronaut, complex, hire and train Kerbonauts. That, I'm sure, is going to help with the, provided they can handle it, the controlling of the ship. That's definitely going to have something to do with that. Some may be a certain level, or skills, they might not have enough skill to do so, which, you're going to really have to spend money on your Kerbonauts, and you know what? Problem is, they're going to die. So I'm sure they're going to be adding in the food and how long they last, and you're going to need to get supplies to them, and that's going to be even more difficult. You're not landing on a large planet, hundreds of miles wide in diameter. You're going to a little spaceship in the middle of nowhere. That's going to be a problem, unless it's in an orbit around somewhere. That you're going to want to, definitely practice with. So, now, part recovery. That's going to help, especially when you don't have enough money, because I'm sure they're adding money. They have costs already set. So, yes. Research and development. Discover and improve parts from a tech tree. That's going to add to the challenges, that's going to add to the difficulties, which is going to make the game very good. it's just they're really getting into it. I can't wait for this stuff, and it's gonna be great. Mission control room, create flight plans and take on missions and challenges. That is gonna be for the people who are probably a little bit more hardcore or serious about the game, and they really want to get it done straight and simple. Some people, they like to, get their ship and just fly wherever they can. Observatory. Discover new bodies to visit, like, planets. I'm sure they'd add in stuff. It'd be nice if it was like I want to say monthly thing where they add in a couple of planets or faraway galaxies and universes that you could go visit, and you have to discover them yourselves. They won't tell you, unless, whatever. Well, I'm sure it'll be in the info, but they won't really show up standard on your map or a tracking station. That would make sense. Spacecraft construction. Exploited view, a systematic visualization of the ship, allowing for greater control over ship functionally. That would be nice. It's going to help you control the ship quite a bit. It's not that easy controlling ships now. I mean, some people get confused, especially with the S and W key, unless they turn the ship completely around, so then the W actually pushes it forward. If you guys know, if you look on the ball on the bottom, it actually pushes it the opposite way, sadly. So doesn't make sense. Not logic at all. Stack extensions, fairings, and solid booster fuel plugs. The fuel plugs for the solid boosters, I would assume, would be tanks, or adding, fuel from, maybe a converter. Fuel to convert into fuel boosters. So say, you take the first fuel tank they've ever had, those standard ones, the gray and yellow. You could probably put a plug on that and maybe convert it into the booster fuel. There you go, you got really long-lasting boosters. I mean, those things are great, except for the overheating part. But that's when you add in the jet engine. Cool, the things that you put on the jet engine. See, things that provide the oxygen. I mean, I've been playing around with those jet engines, and let me tell you, those things are amazing when you're in the atmosphere. When you're halfway in the atmosphere, God, it's not that good, but hey, I made a huge ship and made that at one little tiny stage, and it took me up halfway to the atmosphere. You know how much fuel that saved? And not only that, but it's amazing. It consumes 0 fuel. I used 1/2 a fuel tank for 3 large jet engines, and I had the oxygen things on there, so I went a little further. And let me tell you, it is phenomenal. You guys should definitely try that out. I suggest you do. Just great. Alright, so now we're on to side mounts, which is basically just cargo pods. Everything else in that section they already have. So cargo pods, that's going to be, for your fuel, and let me just say, like when you dock, if you look at all the other stuff, I mean, some of these, come into each other a little bit. Let's see. So, yeah, cargo pods probably just for food for when you're docking at the space station. Spacecraft stats: total weight, loaded fuel per stage, ? Which I would say that would be similar to the physics and dynamics. I mean, they're making it more realistic. Let's just put it that way. Alright, so now we're on physics and dynamics. Wind and turbulence conditions. I like the sound of that. Re-entry heat. Okay, cool. That's when you're coming in from the space into the Kerbal's atmosphere. The re-entry heat. I'm sure you guys get that. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Possibility of re-entry heat weakening structural connections. Okay, that also is very realistic. Moving on to scenery and graphics. Clouds, weather ? Static particles, cloudlets, and long duration smoke trails. So they're just adding to the look of the smoke trails, but maybe that might affect you bit, like after relaunching, you might have some smoke in your way when you're relaunching. So hopefully they don't last. Clouds, which is basically weather, and then static particles, which is the clouds and cloudlets. I don't know. That's gonna be basically just extra drag for you. Have fun with that. It's gonna be pretty hard with that. Asteroids. Oh God. Hey, have fun landing on the planet with the asteroids around it. And I guarantee they could destroy your ship. Let me just say that they are definitely gonna do something. 3 gas planets, moons, and an asteroid belt. They've already said asteroids, but whatever. Let's not say anything about it. The 3 gas planets and moons and an asteroid belt. They already have in the blue text 6 moons. I don't know why you wouldn't just get rid of the moons since it already says 6 moons. Why repeat the word moon 3 times? I mean, it says it another time, which doesn't make sense. 3 gas planets, moons, and an asteroid belt. Basically, it's just going to add more planets, but the gas ones, I'm not so sure about. You might just fly right through it, and if you do go into it, let me just say something right now. You're going to be completely destroyed. I don't think you'd want to go in there, nor the asteroid belt. You don't want to go there either. Or if you just want to be an idiot and just completely destroy yourself, have fun. Better scenery for Space Center. Scene, basically, it's going to maybe have people walking around, cars, parking lot. I mean, like a real NASA place. Cities and other, geographic points of reference. Those you might actually be able to destroy because it says under it, Space Center faculties can be destroyed by crashing landing onto them, and fixing them will cost you. That I'm looking forward to, and I'm sure people that love joking around will like that too. Cities and other geographic points of reference, which I talked about just before that, they may be the same as the Space Center, but I'm sure if you destroy that, it's going to cause a lot more hate on you and quite a cost of money, so you might just wreck your reputation and the whole game ends. And I hope that doesn't happen because some people might have trouble with that. Audio. More and better sound effects, the KSP soundtrack, and these two are just regular text. I mean, that has not even been looked. I'm sure it's been looked into, but it doesn't say partially implemented, so I don't even know if they're working on it right now or they've done anything for it, so can't say. The next and last one is Game/Engine, OSC, data interface for connectivity with external applications. I have no idea what that means. Honestly, I barely use the computer, so yeah. Alright guys, thanks Guitar Man, I'm going to be saying goodbye. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll put a link so you guys can just, read this yourself. I doubt you want to hear me talk and all the background noise. I'm sorry about that, but hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and favorite if you want to. You don't have to. It doesn't really do anything for me. Maybe self-esteem boost, but that's about it. That's really about it. So, that, and it shows that people enjoy my videos, and it's nice to have people enjoy. That's nice. So, do whatever you guys want to do. Dislike, like, favorite, unfavorite. It's kind of stupid. Anyway, subscribe, unsubscribe. You get it. Well, might as well go now. So, that means I'm going to have to say goodbye. So, see you guys later.